Today I'm going to tell you about a major cyber attack from 2011 where a hacker group called LulzSec broke into Sony Pictures and stole personal data from over 1 million users. The story combines outdated security, a classic hacking technique called SQL injection, and a group of trolls who wanted to make a point. LulzSec, short for Lul Security, was a small group of hackers that split off from Anonymous. They weren't in it for the money or political change, though. Their main motivation was embarrassment, trolling, and exposing weak security. In 2011, they went on a 50-day rampage attacking Fox News, PBS, the CIA, and eventually Sony Pictures. Their logo is a smug-looking gentleman in a tuxedo with a monocle and a glass of wine. It's meant to look overly proper and sophisticated, which makes it ironic considering the group's goal was to cause disruption and embarrassment. It was all a part of their trolling persona. In May of 2011, LulzSec accessed personal data for over 1 million users, including names, emails, dates of birth, and even passwords. They used basic SQL injection on a vulnerable Sony Pictures website. The site didn't properly validate or sanitize user input, which meant LulzSec could enter SQL commands into something as simple as a form field and trick the database into giving them access. Once inside, though, the real shock wasn't just that they got in, it was what they found. Sony was storing user data, including over 1 million passwords, in plain text. No hashing, no encryption, nothing. That made the data incredibly easy to steal, and worse, it showed just how unprepared Sony was for even the most basic form of attack. After the attack, LulzSec didn't just stay quiet. They posted this statement saying, "Every bit of data we took wasn't encrypted. Sony stored over 1 million passwords of its customers in plain text, which means it's just a matter of taking it. They were asking for it." LulzSec mocked Sony for not encrypting user data. They made it clear that the attack wasn't about stealing money, it was about proving how weak Sony's security really was. Eventually, the law enforcement caught up with LulzSec. A major turning point came when one of the group's leaders, Hector Monsegur, known as Sabu, cooperated with the FBI and helped track down other members. Two key people involved in the Sony Pictures attack were arrested: Cody Kretzinger, who went by the handle Recursion, and Reynaldo Rivera, known as Neuron. Kretzinger was the one who carried out the SQL injection, while Rivera helped publish the stolen data. Both pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 366 days in prison, 13 months of house arrest, 1,000 hours of community service, and they were both ordered to pay $605,663 in restitution. This story reminds us that old attack methods still work when companies don't follow basic security practices. Something as simple as encrypting passwords could have saved Sony a lot of damage. It also shows that some hackers are motivated by humiliation and not profit, and that trolling can have very real consequences. Thanks for listening.